Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Couch Racing Chronicles. Wait a minute. I'm in Ohio. I'm not in Daytona. Man, this is some bullshit. Anyways, what's up? I'm AJ, the avid Chris Buescher and Chase Briscoe fan. As always, I'm not alone. Let's introduce the squad. What up, Checker?
What's up, everybody? Hey, how's it going? Hope you're all having a great day, and this is going to be a fun episode, so let's have some fun, I guess.
What's going on, James?
It's going good. Ready to get this season underway, finally. Really looking forward to it. This Suarez fan.
And then we have Mr. Vivia Paper Towels over here. I mean, Channy.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Are you paper towels, Channy? Because do you soak up all the bullshit?
Wow.
If you really think about it,
I see. I see how it is. You know what? Fine. I'm not going to introduce myself. You know what? No, I'm just kidding. What's up, everybody? My name is Shanny. I am the William Byron Ryan Priest simp in this fucking
Clusterfuck.
Yeah, in this whole entire clusterfuck. With these introductions out of the way, I haven't said this in God knows how long. Let's get this podcast started.
So if you really, I was gonna say, if you really think about it, with the towels and all that, the towels are cushioning, the fall of Ryan Priest flying in the air at Daytona. I gotta stop now.
You might want to stop yourself there.
Can you respectfully shut the fuck up, Checker?
No, second me, motherfucker.
Anyways, recording in the background as always is ISO. Sonny is running late, so he will join mid-episode. So, as always, it's Thursday. We're recording this on Thursday, as we all know. Today is the Daytona duels, before the Daytona 500. For those who probably watched qualifying last night, the cars that did lock in on speed were Justin Allgaier and Corey Heim. I need to say something really quick. James and I were talking about this before we hit record. Corey Heim, man, that I am impressed. Like 2311 brought a very fast 67 car to get into Daytona 500, and not to mention Corey Heim was the first car who literally went out on track and had a really fast lap. So, James, I want to ask you a question. Could Corey Heim potentially play a dark horse in this Daytona 500?
I mean, I would think you could probably, even going into that, knowing he was going to be in the race, seeing what he can do in trucks, you could say he would be. I mean, I don't want to say he won the truck race at Daytona last year, because, I mean, we all know Kligerman won that, but, know, he was there to benefit when Kligerman got disqualifying stuff. So, and he finished second to Gio at Talladega in the Truck Series. He's not a bad Super Speedway racer by any means, and we already know he's a great driver. That's one of those things. If 2311 can keep it up throughout the race, and help him get comfortable in that car in these packs style of racing in the Cup Series, because it's definitely different than the trucks here. I think he'll be a threat for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I really think 2311 made the right move here to start Corey's year with probably arguably one of the biggest races in the year. And that actually leads into the first topic of this open segment. Why does the Daytona 500 mean so much to a race fan? Well, that's actually a really good question depending on who you ask in here. Because as a race fan, I myself have won a couple with two different drivers. As we all know, Dale Jr. got two of his Daytona 500 wins, 10 years apart, 2004, 2014. And then I have another one with Kurt Busch in 2017. And then we have Channy over here has two of them with William Byron while he's going for his third one in a row. So let me just say, not a lot of people underestimate the value of what winning the Daytona 500 means from not only a race fan perspective, but from a race team perspective too. Because you win that Daytona 500, hell, as much as you even win the pole for the 500, it makes your entire season. So, another driver I wanted to shout out really quick is Noah Gragson. He gets my What an Idiot award for this week. And I'm pretty sure for those who did see qualifying, we all saw that he stuck his hand out the window during his time. His time was disallowed. NASCAR made a rule change over the offseason. You can no longer do that. So, I mean, James Checker, I think this came down to he just had a brain fart. I mean, it is what it is, right?
I mean, yeah. Noah, I was just like when we were looking at Cup Series chat last night, we figured out that Noah got his qualifying reversed. It was like oh, so what he do, and then you basically did what you're not supposed to do, but at a time, it's basically one of those moments where you just like try not to get caught, basically, and all that shit.
Well, I mean, this is kind of different. I don't really think it was more so an act of cheating. It was just a force of habit. If that makes sense. I assume James is A-okay. But
I'm here. I just had muted, so nothing.
Oh, no, you good. Oh, okay. So, in my theory, James, we know we were just talking about this.
Yeah.
Do you think this came down to just more so, hey, natural instinct? Or do you really think... I'm not trying to say, get out the metal hats, right? I mean, I don't really think this was intentional, right?
I don't think it was. I think this was. You also got to remember, this wasn't something new the entire offseason. This was, I think, just said like not even a month ago. This was brought out.
Right.
I remember. I saw Bob say it, but it wasn't that long ago. So it was still kind of like this very recent rule change. So
Right.
it could have just been that, hey, recent rule change, not remembering that, and I don't blame him at all. If that was the case, you can't really fault him because it's like, okay, yeah, that's understandable. I could probably make the same mistake,
Sure.
So I don't fault him, but that just really puts him at a big disadvantage for the rest of the weekend.
Yes, but at the same time, no, it wouldn't because his qualifying time was kind of slow, too. So, I mean, yeah, he's kind of got a big hole to dig is a new word now. Dig himself out of, especially hopefully tonight, barring he doesn't crash in his dual race, which I think he's in dual number 2. Anyway,
wait for Noah or
yeah,
I saw him. I think he's dual 1.
Yeah, he's dual 1 actually.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Speaking of the duels, let's talk about that really quick before we get into the next topic. So tonight we have duel 1 at 7 p.m. and then shortly after duel 1 we have duel number 2. Some notables in duel 1. All 4 of the RFK cars are in duel 1. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. Channing Checker, I think this is going to come down to Corey LaJoie needs to race his way into the Daytona 500 because he got, he wasn't faster than Corey Heim or Justin Allgaier in qualifying. So, do you think, and James, you can chime into this too, whoever wants to go first, do you think the focus for all 3 of the RFK cars, Ryan Brees, Chris Buescher, Brad, do you think their main focus is getting Corey into the Daytona 500?
Personally, obviously, I think that like I said, I was listening to what was it, Stack and Pays a couple of weeks ago, and Corey was talking about how Brad is saying that how they really don't get much help as they do like tracks like that, and I think that adding a 4th Roush car, try to get it in try to get Corey in to the 500 might help even out the odds for RFK out in the field, but overall, I think perspective-wise, I think that the main objective is trying to get Corey into basically the 500. I mean, depending, like I said, on how the rest of the open entries play out, which we're going to be talking about that in a little while, but overall, I think, that's basically the main focus for, RFK.
Yeah, and I agree with that because, and that was the purpose of this 4th RFK car. The purpose of that was for them to get a little bit more strength on the super speedways. So, James, and there's Sonny. That's actually very perfect because I was actually just about to ask James this question. I'll ask Sonny this question. So, Sonny, to fill you in, hi, first of all, to fill you in, we were talking about Corey LaJoie having to race his way into the Daytona 500 in Duel 1. So, my question to you is, do you think RFK's focus is the 6, the 17, and the 60? Since they're both fairly close up front with Corey, do you think their focus is to get Corey into the 500?
All right. Before I answer the question, let me do this first since I'm just joining.
Okay.
Raleigh Nation, where are we at? All right. Now that I got that out of my system, I think all three of the other RFK cars that aren't LaJoy, I could see a lot of strategy going on within RFK because let me checking the lineup to make sure who are the other open cars Corey is fighting, and all I see is Chandler Smith and Casey Mears. So Corey already has the position advantage. So it's just a matter of can all the RFK cars link up and help Corey stay ahead, because the 36 and the 66 are all going to be way in the back, but anything can happen in the duel. So
Sure.
I think Corey and RFK are in a really good situation. So I imagine a lot of working together is going to be happening to make sure the 99 locks in for the 500.
And I think that's going to be the main focus, especially because how I could see that playing out is Brad getting to Corey and then Chris and Ryan working together. They all link up together. That's exactly how I see that happening, because that almost always how it goes on these play tracks. So, Channy, I wanted to ask you especially, what kind of hot rod did Ryan Preece bring there the other day? Man!
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he's on a hot streak this week. Won at New Smyrna in the modifieds on Tuesday night. Man, if you're a Ryan Preece fan, this is a good week for you. So James, I'm going to ask you now this too. So, with that question I just asked Sonny and everyone else, how do you feel about Corey making it into the 500?
I think there's a great chance, because we said before we start recording, he's not got much competition. It's Chandler Smith and the FRM car, and the FRM car doesn't look fast last night anyway, and Casey Mears. So yes, Jimmy's there, but Jimmy's already locked in. He's going to be in our provisional. I don't know how
Right.
that's going to work out if he ends up being the highest one, if that eliminates him being in the 41st spot, though. I don't know if that's how it works. But it's a real possibility, because, like I said, I don't know. I think that's going to be the main focus for the RFK cars. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, don't wreck the cars and stuff. Keep them in one piece, but then also get LaJoy in there. So,
Sure.
I think it was Checker said, they were saying they don't have much support on these tracks, and I want to add on to that, because the RFK cars work so well together as their own. There's always really good frets at these tracks, but there's that risk of working with them and not being able to make the move because of that they probably don't want to work with RFK cars, which I can't blame them. But I think it's going to be their main focus to get LaJoy in tonight, and I won't be surprised
Sure.
if that's what happens.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised with it either. But I wanted to add on to what you just said. I actually was listening to Hauer Talk this morning, and if I remember correctly, I heard if it does come to that situation where Johnson is ahead, it would not affect the open car that has to race their way in, because Jimmy's already granted into the 500, and it would not affect that car that needs to race their way in, if my memory serves me correct.
So it's solely
Okay, good.
between the three cars remaining.
Exactly. So, moving on to the next topic. Mother Nature. Man. What is this, like the third or fourth Daytona 500 we have had a threat of rain in the last couple of years? Man, this is disappointing.
Tradition.
yeah. Every time NASCAR's in town, right? Right, Sonny?
I can speak from experience, like 4 times.
Well, I just wanted to tell you guys right now, the forecast does look a little better. Unfortunately, there is still a threat of rain. As of this recording, I just looked at the National Weather Service. We have a 50% chance of showers this Sunday afternoon. Unfortunately, that threat of rain does continue into the night. So there's a possibility we might have to race on Monday. But Monday's no better, because there's a chance of rain there too. So Tuesday, anybody?
I mean, not unheard of.
Texas
Maybe just
2020.
do the clash on the Wednesday.
And I would say note fact as well. We had fucking snow and sleet and rain, during the fucking clash as well. So it's like,
It's like we can't escape Mother Nature, apparently.
Oh, speaking of the snow, it finally melted. All the snow is finally gone from our house. Finally.
Yeah, it's melting over here
Record.
too, thankfully. So, another thing I wanted to mention about this rain. If we do there is probably a slim chance that this might happen, but I have a feeling they're going to bump the start time up an hour because of that threat of rain. So, by the time they're predicting this rain, it's supposed to be after 1 o'clock. So, let's just say hypothetically, if it does start to rain, I don't know, probably 3:30, 4 o'clock, that would be closer to the end of stage 2, the beginning of stage 3, right? So I think we'd be well past halfway. So I think that would be the smart choice, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
because they need to get to lap 100 because 100 is going to be the halfway. So they could still
Right.
be in the middle of stage 2 and it rains and it would still be official because they got to the halfway mark first. So I hope if they pull the trigger on that, I think that'll be a smart call, saving having to postpone a day. I would love to see the full race get in, but this is NASCAR Mother Nature. Mother Nature is NASCAR's on the number one I hate you list for Mother Nature. So
Ain't that the truth?
it's gonna be interesting to monitor and keep track of. Praying we get the full race in. Even if it means having to postpone, but if it comes down to we can't find the weather, I at least want to see it get past official. Then after that, it's have at it, boys.
Amen to that. I really do want to get this 500 in, hopefully on time and hopefully with no issues with weather. And that would be great. So moving on to the next topic. Actually, now that Sunny's here, I can actually talk about this. Man, what did they do over the all season, man? Because holy shit, that 8 car is fast.
Now I'm not gonna declare right before official race 1. Jim Pullman is our answer to all of our problems, but
It's
I'm
looking pretty
just
good, right?
saying. So honestly, that brings off a lot of stress for my soldiers for this duel because it was always about do we run up front and get a good starting spot? Do we stay in the back and conserve the car? Well, now that we have number 1 spot locked up, that gives me a lot of less pressure and we can just sit in the back. I think the one thing that might keep Kyle up front is because of the fact the duels are points races from when stages were first introduced. I think that one thing would be if he wants to go for the 10 bonus points because that could be crucial for Chase later on. But if not, then just stay in the back, just preserve the car. I'm going to say it. This might be Kyle Busch's best genuine shot at winning, and I do not want that to be hope broken or tainted because we wrecked the car in the duel doing something stupid or reckless. So to protect this car, right along in the back if you have to. If you really want to go for some points, then do it without putting yourself in jeopardy of Sunday because good God, I'm having hope again, and it is dangerous.
You know what this is reminding me of? This is reminding me of when Dale Jr. and Steve Letarte got linked up together in 2011. So I have a lot of hope for you guys this year. And you guys are off to a great start with, and it's funny we're talking about this because Sonny might remember this and James too. But remember when Steve Letarte and Dale Jr. first started working together? What happened there? They sat on the pole for the Daytona 500. Unfortunately, because he crashed in his duel, he had to go to the back. But I'm not saying that's going to happen to you, Sonny, but already I'm getting some good vibes from this, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't mind just sitting in the back the whole race. We can run one lap and then park it for all I care. I want to protect this car. This is the best shot we have. I don't want anything to happen tonight.
Absolutely. And you guys also have number 1 pit stall, too. So that's going to help not only in the duel, but it's also going to help in the race, too.
Hell yeah.
So, actually, moving on. So I have a question for everybody, and whoever wants to go first on this, you're more than welcome to. Was this the most anticipated speed weeks of all time in a couple of years? The reason why I say that is because of how stacked, and I mean stacked, this entry list was. We had 45 cars entered into the Daytona 500 with 8 open entries. So, here's my thing. Well, we already saw it with Corey Heim. Corey Heim was a definite lock after yesterday when he basically had a really fast car in qualifying, even being the first car out too, mind you. That was
That
a
usually
shocker.
never works.
No, that's amazing. So, not only that, you have Corey LaJoie in the 99, which we just talked about. Justin Allgaier, Art doesn't have to worry about anything tonight. He raced his way in. Or, I'm sorry,
Thank God.
he qualified his way in. I was going to get to that. He qualified his way into the Daytona 500 yesterday. It was pretty close, not going to lie, between him and Corey LaJoie. And, oh my God, we were all holding our breath for that. And then we also have Casey Mears, Chandler Smith, Jimmy Johnson, which he already has the provisional, so he's already locked in regardless. JJ Yaley, BJ McLeod, and I think Anthony Alfredo. Am I missing anyone else?
No, I think you got everyone.
Okay, so with that being said, I have a question for everyone. Also, who do you think is going to race their way into the Daytona 500 tonight? I think Duel 1, it might be, I'm going to eat my words later if I get this wrong, but I think the obvious answer for Duel 1 is Corey LaJoie.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree on this one.
James, I assume you already agree too, because we were just talking about this.
Yeah, I think it. I mean, Mears. As much as I would like to see him get in there and stuff, because he's going for like that. I forgot if it was 500 or I think it's 500 career starts for Mears. As much
Yes.
as once he get that, they're just not fast. I don't think they're going to be able to keep the draft. So I think it's going to be easy. LaJoie.
Okay, and Channy, I think you assume you're going to say LaJoie on this one too.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I would have hoped you would have said LaJoie because, I mean, it's an RFK card. Duel 2, that one's going to be really interesting because who do we got in Duel 2 as far as open cars, Checker?
Duel 2, I think we have like free. Wait, yeah,
Free.
free cars only. We have Alfredo, Yaley, and McLeod, and that's it.
Okay, so I'm going to go to Sonny on this one first. Who do you think is going to race their way in Duel 2?
See, this one, I feel like it could go any direction. Like, my mind wants to say Alfredo. My heart and gut wants to say BJ McLeod, and in reality, it's probably going to be JJ Yaley. So we can really flip a coin on whoever is going to get in. So, if I'm picking one out of a cannon, split second rapid fire, I'm gonna say McLeod. I just have a feeling we gotta let our Lord and Savior BJ McLeod in the 500. It's never the same without him.
For sure, and we don't get to see him run these. He only runs the plate races nowadays, and he's had some really good runs in these plate races. So I'd like to see him do it, but my heart and soul, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to go with Anthony Alfredo. I really think Alfredo had a fast car in qualifying. Yeah, kind of got doled out by everyone else, but on pen and paper, when he qualified, he actually had a really good line around the track. His qualifying lap was pretty solid for an open car, in my opinion. Was it faster than everyone else? No, but I mean, he knows what he's doing, and I just hope if he just minds his own business, gets a lucky caution, he can race his way in. So I'm going to go with Alfredo. Checker?
I've been saying on this for a while, and fun fact, obviously it's going to still be at my picks, but I remember I casually made a mistake. I got them switched around. I originally had, cool side note, I had Corey be on speed with Allgaier and High, with the last chance, but it went, switched. It was switched steps, but
yeah. Besides
that, for Duel 2, this is a tough one, honestly, for me, but if I had to think realistically, and, honestly, I was literally sitting between, McLeod and Alfredo all day and this morning. But I think the final decision I decided to do was Fast Pasta. I think Anthony Alfredo is going to race his way in. That's just me.
Danny, what about you?
We talking about the second duel?
Talking about Duel 2. Duel 2. Who do you think is going to race their way in for Duel 2? A lot of us said Anthony Alfredo.
I never really thought about, the duel stuff.
Okay, so I'm just gonna basically the dual race is a qualifying race. It's mainly for the open cars, the cars that need to race their way into the Daytona 500. But it also, if a car is already locked in, you can also improve your starting position in the 500 with this race. So I think we'll go on a limb and say Anthony Alfredo, right?
Yep.
Okay, James. I think I asked you, but I forgot if I did not. Who you got?
You did not ask, so I'm gonna go BJ McLeod. I really would like to see him get in there and run it.
Interesting. So half of us said Anthony Alfredo, and two people said BJ McLeod. I need.
I would say now watch JJ Yeley prove his all rod and win the fucking duel too.
Oh God! If you
Watch
want
Yeley go to win the 500.
Dude, imagine if
That would actually be
JJ.
amazing.
Imagine if there's a late caution and he stays out and is in front and gets a lucky break and wins the duel race. Oh my God! Twitter is gonna burn down.
Monday afternoon, JJ Yeley announces he's running for the championship.
Good one.
Bro won it way too late. More than after the playoffs got taken.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have a question for Sonny, and I think this is a very, very good question, since I feel like he would know the answer to this more than I would. But the ARCA race at Daytona, do we think it's lost its luster over time?
Part of me says yes, but then part of me also believes it's really because of how people perceive ARCA as a whole series. Like, I remember watching the 2018 race. I remember it because I saw someone go like on their side near one of the final restarts. And I was really intrigued by it. I hadn't been exposed to an ARCA race before, so seeing something like this be part of Speed Weeks, I was really all for it. And then you let a couple of years go by, and now people just kind of rush off ARCA. It's a series where kids beat and bang on each other. That sounded wrong. Hold up. That sounded very wrong. Okay.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was PG.
But yeah, I feel like the Daytona race, the ARCA Daytona race, it kind of has, but I also think it's a bit unfair because of the series being ran by it being looked upon way differently than back then. So I still think it's a really good race where a lot of drivers in the lower series or drivers who are trying to kind of do their bidding to get like a truck or Xfinity start, as we saw like Elio Castroneves last year. I do think it still holds a good part in Speed Weeks. It's literally the first part of the doubleheader for Xfinity. And I'll be honest, like, do you want to see Austin Hill win 50 Xfinity Daytona races in a row? No, I didn't think so.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. So the TLDR, it kind of has, but at the same time, I think part of it is a bit unfair, and I think it deserves to be recognized. Not in 500 scale. That's a whole different level, but I don't think it should just be passed up. Oh, it's just the ARCA race. Moving on.
Yeah. So in my opinion, I think it has lost its lust a little bit over time because it's just now turned into a wreck fest. I mean, it's always been kind of a wreck fest if you really think about it, but ARCA back in like the 2010s was a whole lot better than it is today, and that's just my opinion, and I will die on this hill. Because nowadays we have a bunch of rich kids just driving around and wrecking everybody, and they don't have any racecraft. Now, people are going to say, oh, ARCA isn't exactly the best place to really build your racecraft. Yes, but at the same time, come on, let's use a little common sense here. Am I right, James?
Yeah, I mean, I actually got to watch last year's race because it was on main Fox, and oh my goodness, they could not stop wrecking. Like, come on.
I guess they don't know how to use the brake, apparently, right?
That, but it's also just like, I mean, it's gonna sound so stupid and redundant in my mind. How hard is it to keep the car straight there? I mean, that hard.
Shit, ask Checker. He would probably know.
Or ask Chris Wright. Apparently, keeping a car straight is as hard as going to the moon.
Don't remind me. Please don't remind me, because I have him as a fucking truck teammate this year. Oh,
Brother,
like, what's that? We don't want that.
They got
This
a
is
great
the
lineup there, and then they just got Chris Wright. Like, it's like what? Hemrick, Ankrum, Eckes, and then Wright.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be absolute cinema when Chris Wright accidentally busts into Tony Stewart and Tony Stewart beats his ass.
I'm destroying the whole house if that happens.
Pay-per-view fight.
well,
I can't call a fight. Tony Stewart whoop Chris Wright.
Chris Wright's going to be on a most wanted list.
yeah, he's gonna have to fly over to Cancun now, apparently. So, moving on.
He should have already been there.
Yeah, literally. So moving on, the next topic. This episode's gonna be kind of short, but I'm trying to drag these out a little bit longer, as you can tell. Looking back from Daytona 500 practice, it was nothing really out of the ordinary. I mean, Austin Cindric was fastest, but I mean that was aided to him being in the drafts. But looking at single car runs during practice on Wednesday, it looked like a lot of the Chevys were really fast, and and I'm kind of not surprised, but at the same time, I am, considering they just, they switched over to a new body over the offseason. Sonny, and my question to you is, are these cars illegal? No, I'm just kidding. Are we seeing something we may not have seen in a while where, yeah, the Chevys have been very dominant over the last couple of years, especially on the super speedways, but do you think with this new body, being a little less rigid, do you think the Chevys are going to be a lot faster this year than they were probably, say, like in 2023, 2024?
Honestly, yeah. If qualifying showed a lot as well in practice, it's Chevy's got that oomph they needed because for a while it was the Fords that primarily dominated speed on the plate tracks, but now that Chevy seems to be adjusting really quickly to the new body, which I'll give them credit. I thought it was going to take a while, but so far so good. Knock on wood, they're doing pretty well. I think this is a majorly needed step in the right direction for Chevy. I still have to see how they do on Atlanta and Talladega, the other plate tracks, to see if it's really as good as they think, or if it's just a Daytona thing. But I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the bow ties.
So I think we could all agree. I think out of those three, Chevys favor more at Talladega and Daytona. Atlanta might be a little bit of a crapshoot, but then again, Atlanta is starting to get a little bit more worn down since the repave, like I've mentioned previously before. So that might play into the new bodies factor a little bit, but I don't know, man. That's something we have to watch next week. But so far, I like what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So, James, what are your thoughts? Since you're a Suarez fan, especially, you get to witness this firsthand with the new Chevy body. What are your thoughts on it so far?
I honestly, when it was first revealed, I looked at it, I was like, where's the difference? I just didn't. But now as time goes on, I'm like, okay, I can see how the front is a little bit more flat and stuff. I don't know. I mean, the last time Chevy brought in a new body was when they brought in the Camaro, and they struggled in 2018 for a while. I mean, but also at the same time, they did win the 500 that year. So, I mean, who knows? We'll see. I mean, I hope it's good, obviously, for Suarez, but also just overall for the sport, I think. I think as much as we hate seeing Hendrick win a lot, I mean, it is good for the sport to see that established team go up there and compete. Teams like Childress too, other Chevy teams up there compete. We want to see that because they're storied teams in the sport. So I hope the body's great.
Yes, for sure. And not to mention, I think this body is kind of favored into some, RCR especially. Well, this could also play into a lot of preparation that happened in the offseason because look what it showed yesterday. I mean, Austin Dillon, I don't know where he ended up qualifying after he went out, but he posted a really good lap in qualifying. KB qualifying on the pole. This is already off to a great start for RCR, and I like what I'm seeing. So, my next question is on that topic. There's not really much visible change, but I heard something on, I think it was Checker, you might have to back me up on this. Didn't Dale say something on his podcast about the new body, about how it's going to be favored more on super speedways and short tracks because of, how aerodynamically rigid it is?
I believe he did say that. I think there's just a little change on the super speedway packages, but I'm really curious to see how it plays out,
Absolutely. So, with that also being said, let's we don't really like to talk about gambling here on this podcast very often, but it is a Daytona 500. It is one of the biggest races of the year, and this is one of those times of the year, with these restrictor plate races, I do dive into a little bit of some of the gambles. So, let's take a look at the DraftKings odds for the Daytona 500 this year. And let me go pull it up really fast. I need to log in. Hold on just a minute. You picked a bad time to log me out, DraftKings.
DraftKings is trying to save your wallet.
Not like I was going to bet that much. God damn. Okay. So, DraftKings. Currently the favorite for betting on the Daytona 500 right now, to nobody's surprise, is Denny Hamlin.
The hamster.
I mean, I'm not surprised. He has three Daytona 500 wins. Currently, his odds are plus 900 for the win, plus 265 for a top 3 finish. Ryan Blaney is also a good favorite at plus 1,000. All the odds went down a little bit. Okay. Plus 300 for a top 5 or top 3. William Byron plus 1,100 for the win. Top 3 finish is plus 200. Not a shocker. Who the hell put Kyle Larson at plus 1,100?
Listen, he's improving on plate tracks, but that much?
Yeah, that's a little bit much. So, the reason why we're going over this is this kind of ties into our picks for the weekend. Is there any driver on this list that anyone wants me to go look through and see what their odds are? I'll start with
Let's start with KB's odds. Did his odds change since he won the poll?
Yes, they did actually. He is now plus 1,100 for the win.
Damn.
Before that, he was, I think, plus 17, plus 1,800, so it went up a little bit. So that's actually pretty substantial.
All right.
If anyone is also surprised, Joey Logano's plus 1,200 for the win.
Well, we beat him.
Wait, I'm surprised. Does that mean Larson's got better odds than Logano?
Not by much.
But why? I mean, I hate Logano, but he's infinitely better plate racer than.
He won 500.
Yeah, but that was with a different generation car.
Still more than Larson. So.
I love you, Sonny, but your logic is not real.
I'm bitter about 2025 Phoenix, so.
I mean, fair enough. So here's one, and I think Checker's gonna. This one's more for Checker because Brad Kozlowski's odds, and this one's kind of shocking to me, are plus 2,000 for the win. How do you feel about that?
I mean, the more curiosity is how's Brad going to do, especially since he just, came off that whole break his leg, oh yeah, figuratively, break a leg does not mean break a leg before the 500. Don't do that. But
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting. I'm curious to see how this. I'm more deep diving to see how Brad does in the duel tonight. See how what he's going to be doing. To see how he, especially with the 500. But that is really interesting. But what curiosity does ask me is, let's talk about like an open car. Let's talk about a name like Justin Allgaier. Let's see on that one.
Oh, Justin Allgaier. His odds to win the Daytona 500 are plus 6,000. So he's right there with Daniel Suarez and AJ Allmendinger and Corey LaJoie. Corey LaJoie is plus 4,500. So not surprised, but I mean, it is an RFK car, and we all know the RFK cars are very favored on these super speedways. So, but that's all going to depend on if he races his way in tonight. But what do I know? So, you guys want to hear the highest probability for an underdog, like someone say like Anthony Alfredo?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
If Anthony Alfredo races his way into the Daytona 500 and he wins the Daytona 500, his odds of winning are plus 20,000.
That's some dough.
Damn, almost spit up my drink. Wow.
So let's just play a little hypothetical here. If you put $20 on Anthony Alfredo to win the Daytona 500, that would add up to $4,200 for the win.
Damn.
Shit. Damn it, shit. At that point, put $100 on Anthony Alfredo. I'm just kidding. Don't actually.
We are not encouraging gambling.
We are not encouraging gambling, my friend.
Damn.
Another shocker here in this one. Riley Hurst is plus 9,000. That one, I mean, that's pushing it. I think it should be more like plus 9 million, but hey, what do I know, right?
Yeah, what?
I mean, this is a modern plate track. Literally anyone has a non-zero chance.
I mean, you're not necessarily wrong, but let's be a little bit realistic here. So, in my opinion, I think if anyone's going to do some gambling, look, gambling is your own choice and you make your own decisions. But I think realistically here, the best shot, if you're going to make some bets, I would definitely put some money on Denny Hamlin. I would also put a little bit on Ryan Blaney for the win because, Ryan has come, Sonny and Checker and anyone else here can vouch. Ryan has come so close so many times in the last couple of years. Hey, maybe that mustache he has, it might do him a favor too.
I mean, yeah. Blade did win here, during the summer. So you never know.
Right, but the thing about these Daytona races, you have to be there at the right place at the right time. And that was what it came down to last year in the summer. And I mean, that's how William Byron won 2 Daytona 500s in a row. But that's just me. But here's my honest opinion on a long shot. I want you guys to hear me out on this one. If you're going to do any long shot bets, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but a good long shot bet for this Daytona 500. Oh, I would say Cody Ware, but he's plus 13,000.
No.
No, that's the best answer.
You know what? I think a good long shot here, I'm going to go Justin Allgaier.
I can see it.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, Justin Allgaier has a couple wins at Daytona in the Xfinity Series. I'm sorry, the O'Reilly Series. Him, not having to really worry anything about just keeping the car in good shape tonight. Hell, he got a top 10 last year. So, I mean, I really think he could play spoiler. I think that would be a good chance for him to, be an upset. We haven't had an upset win in the 500 in a long time. What were you going to say, Checker?
I was to say, Allgaier, this would be a huge moment for, junior motorsports. But you never know, though. It could be a long shot, but if the cards play right, Allgaier could do it, or hell, even a top 5. I keep my eyes very close on Justin Allgaier and that number 40 whiskey car.
Hey, Checker, I gotta ask you this: if he wins at the Daytona 500, are you gonna go get you some whiskey?
Shit.
He's like, I mean, I'm not ruling it out, but
Not really, probably gonna be a small bottle. I'm not gonna go too extreme.
are you sure about that?
I mean, I've already, spent like $40 on vodka before, so
So he's like, nah, I think I'm just gonna sit this one out.
yeah, I don't know. We'll come to that bridge when we get there.
It's okay. It's okay, Checker. If Kyle ends up winning on Sunday, you're not going to hear from me on Monday.
Now, here's one I think is a little bit of a sleeper pick, in my opinion, for this, and I think, yeah, look, I don't like using my own drivers here, but someone to watch for the sleeper to win the Daytona 500. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think it's going to be Chris Buescher. Because,
No, I get it.
His best finish of the 500 is third in 2020. He won the summer race in 2023. He's finished in the top 10 in the last couple of races here at Daytona. I really think he could play a good spoiler pick and get his first win of the year here. Would I be very happy about it? Yes. Would you not hear about it from me for about a couple weeks? Maybe yes as well. Would I be drunk on an island somewhere naked? Probably yes too.
Whoa. Let's not use the word island around here.
Yeah, I'm kidding about the last part, I promise. But anyway, I mean, Chris qualified really well too. So as long as he keeps the car in one piece in the duel tonight, and we start in the top 5, which the top 5, top 10, I'd be happy with that. I really think he's going to be somebody to watch. All of the RFK cars, really, but I really think there's going to be something special with Buescher and Priest because they both went winless last year, and I really think they're going to be more hungry than anybody. And I've heard a lot of people say Chris Buescher might have a very good year this year. So let's see how well that holds up. Anyways, let's get to the date. Let's get to the question I've had to ask everyone all week. Was the Super Bowl the worst Super Bowl we've seen in a long time?
Yeah, I've seen worse.
You've seen worse?
A lot worse.
I would say I don't know. I'd have to check out my friend. I have to check my friend. I have to check out my friend behind the scenes. He's probably on life support right now.
Yeah, he's probably drinking his sorrows away, knowing him.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
I think for Checker, he preferred this year's Super Bowl over the last year's.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
At that point, after seeing that Super Bowl this year, I now I'm kind of happy that we did not make it because that would have been
Yeah. Well, okay. The reason why I said this wasn't really great was because, in my opinion, good for Bad Bunny getting his halftime appearance. That's a really big deal for all the Puerto Ricans. But I don't know what it is. It's just I didn't watch the Super Bowl, nor did I care to watch the halftime show. But I've heard a lot of people say the halftime show wasn't that great. And my opinion on it is the halftime show has always been kind of hit or miss with the Super Bowl, and I think this year just was not it. Do we agree? Fair enough. I mean, that was a pretty quick conversation. I was expecting this to be kind of a long debate, but that works for me.
Well, I think another part of why the Super Bowl wasn't all that compelling was the Patriots just did not show up. Like, it took the fourth quarter for them to finally score points, and Seattle wasn't torching them. They were only kicking field goals until the fourth quarter began. So but New England's young. They're still getting experience. Mike Vrabel, he's doing a lot with the team, and I really hope to see them return to a good competing level, much to the detriment of the entire rest of the NFL, having to watch the Patriots again. But that was just not it. They did not look like a championship team, and I think it showed.
For sure. And I think Drake May hurting his shoulder didn't really make it any better either, right, Sonny?
Yeah, even if it healed up and it didn't play too much, I imagine that took a lot of time away to practice.
Yeah, for sure. Also, real quick, because since this is kind of a running gag between all of us here, we punt.
We punt.
We punt.
We punt.
Yes. It's Super Bowl. Nah. The Cleveland Brown Bowl.
And
The
we're
Cleveland
the Cleveland Browns.
Yes. Also, Drew Allen, if you're watching this, we appreciate you. Anyways, all right. Moving on. Let's get to our picks for Daytona. This is probably arguably one of the hardest picks we've had to make all year. What were you gonna say something, James?
No, I'm just getting ready for it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So let's talk about our picks for Daytona because I think we all agree this one was very difficult to do. Because oh man, this was kind of spicy. Okay. Whoever wants to go first, I will start. I guess I will take Channy to go first. Who you got?
All right. Starting off with trucks. Give me Carson Hocevar for the win. And for my dark horse, give me Tyler Ankrum. For my O'Reilly picks, give me Justin Allgaier for the win. And my dark horse is Raja Karuth.
Okay. Raja would be definitely somebody to watch on Saturday. I'm excited for that one. Okay.
And for my cup win, give me Kyle Busch for the win. And give me Michael McDowell for my dark horse.
Let me tell you something, Channy, we shit on Channy for making some shitty picks half the time, but let me tell you something. He made some really good picks this week. He did a good job. Checker, who do you got?
And you know what? Just for chaos, I finally finished up my dual picks to spice it up even better when we get there.
Oh boy.
So actually, you know what? Should I do my dual picks first? Since I've got mine already done.
Sure.
So for duel number one, I know that Sonny's gonna hit me over the head with a fucking hammer because I didn't pick Kyle Busch, but I'm picking Ryan Preece as the duel one winner.
Well, if
But
it's
for
for the duel, I don't really care since we're already locked in the poll.
For duel number two, I'm gonna stick my gun and pick Chase Briscoe as my duel 2 pick. Now let's get down to the real stuff, the real interesting stuff. Truck Series. Give me Lane Riggs for the win. And oh my god, I remember when I texted AJ my dark horse and he was just like, "You what?" So, for my dark horse for trucks, I'm picking a Dodge to win. And I'm picking Butterbean to win, well, dark horse wise, as my truck pick. And let's get to the O'Reilly series. I'm going to pick Jesse Love for the win. And I'm going to pick Raja Karuth as my dark horse. And finally, for Cup, this is basically, I'm going to either bite my tongue on this because I'm looking for, hopefully, for my first fucking 500 win, hopefully to God. Picking Ryan Blaney for the win for the 500. I just think Blaney, he's done this before. I think that it's very close, and I think it's going to be hopefully the right timing in the right place. And for my dark horse, if he makes it, you know, if he wins the duel, well, gets in from the duel, I'm picking Corey LaJoie as my dark horse.
Okay. Let's see. I will take for the truck race. I will take LaJoie for the win, and Stenhouse is my dark horse. O'Reilly, I will take Justin Allgaier for the win, and Harrison Burton as my dark horse. Oh, man, this one, the Cup one was kind of difficult because part of me wanted to pick an RFK car, part of me did not want to. But I think what it came down to, I am going to take Ryan Blaney for the Daytona 500 win. And if he makes it in on tonight in the duel, I will take Corey LaJoie as my dark horse. James, who do you got?
All right. So I'm going crazy. It was looking crazy before last night, at least. My 500 pick is Kyle Busch. The dark horse, I have Eric Jones.
That one's
In the
actually kind of
O'Reilly
believable.
series-
Sorry.
Yeah. In the O'Reilly series, I'm going with the easy answer in the race one pick, Justin Allgaier. And then Dark Horse, Harrison Burton.
Okay.
Truck series, I've been saying it all off season. Gio Ruggiero is going to win Daytona. Probably the most wild pick I've made so far since I got on this podcast. My dark horse for the truck race is Spencer Boyd.
What?
No, listen. I'm not going to shit on James for this one because Spencer Boyd is an underdog, and I do respect underdog wins. That's why we always pick dark horses. But him saying that Gio Ruggiero is going to win Daytona, I'm not surprised. But then again, I mean, Channy did pick Garrett Smithley to win at Pocono last season. So
with this Garrett Smithley bullshit again. I am sick and tired of it mentioned every single goddamn podcast. I swear to God, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
What are you
Alright, so
crashing out about?
let's just say I'm gonna buy him. I was gonna say I'm gonna buy him Garrett Smithley merch for Christmas this year.
Okay, but there's not. Look now, Channy. If the merch actually looks really, really good, though.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that. Sonny, we saved the best for last because you had some really good picks this week. Who do you got?
All right, let's start with the trucks. In the truck race, I'm going to pick Tony Stewart in that 25 Ram truck to win Daytona. And my dark horse, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in a truck debut.
Ooh.
Excuse me, I don't know if anyone heard that. Excuse me. O'Reilly series. I'm gonna hop on the train and say Justin Allgaier. But my dark horse, he has to win at some point. This man has been waiting for a long time. You all know him. You all love him. It's Ryan Sieg. Sorry, Sheldon Creed fans.
Ooh. Well,
Okay. All right. And now the coup de grace. The dark horse at the 500 is Corey LaJoy. I mean, even I have to admit he's a really hell of a plate racer. In my cup race, I originally had Brad Keselowski on here, and which I still believe he has a really great shot out of anyone. But after last night, I am on the hopium. My heart will probably get shattered, but we're gonna do it anyway. I am picking the driver of the number 8 Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet, Kyle Busch, to win the Daytona 500.
so he's going to win the Lizard 500. Got it. No, those are some really solid picks, though, because I really think it's safe to say everybody really wants to see Kyle Busch win again. And I think this might be probably his best chance in a very long time. So, as much as I want to see it happen, we know how this goes. So, I'm holding my breath on it. But between all of us here, I am going to put a little bit of money on him on DraftKings, whether it's for the win or a top 3. So, definitely really looking forward to that. And on that note, I wanted to say something before we sign off on this episode today. I wanted to take a moment to say a few words about another tragedy we had earlier this week. Brad Arnold from Three Doors Down, the lead singer, did pass away from his battle with cancer. Just wanted to take my moment to share my thoughts and prayers with his entire family and the entire Three Doors Down fan base. Brad played a very significant role in the NASCAR community in the early 2000s and was somewhat close, well, not really close, but he had a very small impact on a couple drivers' lives, Dale Earnhardt Jr. being one of them and Tony Stewart being the other. So just wanted to take a moment to say my thoughts and prayers to Brad's family and all of his fans, and he will be missed. Brad was a very good guy, and he definitely turned his life around a lot in the late 2000s. And cancer sucks, man. I know it all too well, and just wanted to say he will absolutely be missed. And he was such a young guy. I mean, he passed away at a very young age. 47 is young for cancer, and it's kind of a tough pill to swallow because we're losing a lot of people year in and year out, and that's a pretty substantial loss, in my opinion, as far as music goes. And Brad will absolutely be missed. On that note, we're going to get out of here because I kind of want to go ahead and watch the truck practice here in about 20 minutes. So on that note, thank you everybody for listening and watching today's episode. As always, if you liked it, click like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, drink your fucking water, please. Except me, I'm probably going to go slam a 6-pack of Blue Moon down because why the fuck not? Anyways, on that note, y'all take it easy. This is AJ signing out.
Yeah, you go first.
All right, this is Sunny signing out.
All right, this is Checker sign off and away, and we're off, and we're away to start the season. We're going to Daytona.
This is James signing off.
And this is Shanny, who is currently drinking a Monster with a strawberry shot, which is absolutely fucking delicious. Signing off, and we will see you guys next week.